pleasure tonight to bring you greetings from our president, Mr. Ted Anderson, who is unable to be with us tonight. I know that he has put a lot of time and energy into making sure that this program, our speaker, and all the things that go into this have come off so nicely. At this time, I would like to introduce Mr. Tim Wayne. That's right, you. Tim is another one that works tirelessly for our organization. So let's give him a round of applause, please.
Thank you, Harry. Actually, the one really work hard is Catherine Young, right at the back. It is my honor to introduce Dr. Autry. Dr. Autry is a native Southern Californian. It's hard to find now. He attended Cal Poly Pomona in history, major in history, and hold MBA and PhD degree in business from UC Irvine. He's an adjunct professor at USC. Dr. Autry is the co-author and the producer of Death of China. He has testified in U.S. Congress and speak at Canadian Parliament and as commentary in national press. Dr. Autry is a writer, an educator, and entrepreneur, and human rights advocate. Dr. Autry, today his speech is how sunflowers movement and China rights affect Taiwan's future. Let's have a warm welcome for Dr. Autry.
Thank you all, and I'm glad to be here. Can everybody hear me in the back? Yeah. Please feel free to move forward if you want. I always tell my students that the farther back you sit in the class, the lower your grade will be. I got one young lady. Yeah, she's leaving. So, can we dim the lights a little bit? I would very much like to thank Tim, and I'm sorry that Ted couldn't be here. Kathy has been so helpful. Wanted to thank President Chen for coming out, and I wanted to thank Angel from TICO for coming out, and to thank them again for giving me the opportunity to travel to Taiwan a couple of years ago, courtesy of the Taiwanese government. I had a great time. In fact, this photo here from Greymoor in that island, I thought was kind of appropriate since it's right there at the edge of the Straits. It says a lot about what the historical relationship has been. I want to talk tonight about the Cross-Straits Agreement in context, and what I mean by that is the historical context that you should be thinking about when you evaluate the value of this agreement. And to be honest, I think it's pretty clear I'm a cynic. Okay. I think it's clear that I'm a cynic when it comes to dealing with the Chinese Communist Party, so take that into account, but I think this is a message that needs to get out to more people. So I want to consider the Cross-Straits Agreement in context, and I'm going to talk about the context of the success of trade as a tool to stop dictatorships. I'm going to talk about the recent free trade agreements and the success those agreements. Is this any better? I'm going to talk about the behavior of China towards its neighbors historically. and the Communist Party's way of doing business. All of these things are relevant when you go to evaluate the Cross-Straits Agreement and how the Sunflower Movement arose. So lesson 1, liberalized authoritarians via trade and cultural exchange. Now I believe that we were going to have
各位乡亲，咱因为今仔日讲完是演语吼，所以为着讲，互大家当较了解，临时我打入问讲，叫我甲大家小可简单的翻译吼。因为是临时的，咱的主讲者伊毋知影是要爱有翻译，所以伊内容对伊来讲，伊无法度临时缩小，所以我会将伊讲的物件简单甲伊做一个介绍吼，毋是讲一句一句翻译。本来伊的讲题准备是差不多半点钟至40分钟吼，所以伊讲吼，是因为咱有翻译的关系，时间较长，请咱的会众乡亲较忍耐者吼，因为会变较久的时间。伊今仔日要讲的题目吼，伊分做4段啦吼，第一段就是讲迄个。伫即个专制国度的时阵，即个贸易上面咱会当有较好的进步。佮第2点就是讲，伫近代的历史中，即个自由贸易的同意吼，有伊的记录，会小可介绍一下。佮第3点就是讲，中国甲伊的厝边吼，伊的厝边的国家，伊的行为是啥物款？佮来就是讲，CPC 就是共产迄个中国啊吼，因咧做代志的方式，安尼。第一项要讲的就是讲吼，咱会知影，专制国家吼，因是用上贸易甲文化。咱要安怎来创，互伊会当较自由化吼。
So I teach entrepreneurship at the University of Southern California, and this is a textbook that I use. I'm going to read just a couple of excerpts from the textbook. I have to teach my students about doing business contracts. And this is an entry from a textbook called Entrepreneurship by Steve Maharati. And it says, a contract is no substitute for trust. It says a contract is not a substitute for understanding and communication.
第一项吼，伊伫大学中，伊咧教伊学生吼，伊就是咧讲，迄个同意吼，要安怎来完成迄个同意书吼？伊有一点真重要的重点，就是讲，一个同意书吼，迄个合同吼，袂当代替互相的信任。一个合同吼，并毋是迄个互相的了解甲迄个同意的替代品。
If you do not like or trust someone, having a contract will not improve the relationship.
假使你若无和一个人有互相的信任的时，伊对你迄个合同的完成并无帮忙。
So avoid signing a contract with someone you do not trust.
所以上重要，你若要甲人签合约时，上重要爱避免的一项代志，就是讲绝对毋通和你无信任的人签合同，这是第一条件。
And then it says that if you have to renegotiate or change a contract with somebody you do not, that the results could be unpleasant and difficult.
假使若真过不入种，你来个去改变你迄个合同的内容的时阵，往往就会真做真无好，真无快乐， 真困难的一种情况。
So, who trusts this guy? That's a pun.
会认你这个人无？习近平相信任伊。
Nobody trusts him.
无我
I
啦。
can tell you, none of my friends from mainland China, even the good communists, they don't trust this guy. The other members of the Communist Party don't trust this guy, which is why purging the party and getting rid of all of his potential enemies.
甚至伫中国伊家己共产党国家内底，伊国土内底，中国国土内底，遐人嘛拢无信任伊，所以伊才会遮尔赶紧要将无下伊的人顶来结掉。
Our politicians, though, they say this to us. President Obama said, the United States welcomes a strong and prosperous and successful China that plays a greater role in world affairs.
咱的奥巴马总统伊讲一句话，讲美国欢迎一个强，搁有迄个繁荣成功的中国来成做一个世界的事务的重要角色。
And President Ma says, currently our most important task is to speed up the pace of trade liberalization and market opening.
咱台湾的马先生阿狗伊讲现在咱上重要的挑战就是爱紧完成即个迄个自由贸易，甲迄个市场开放。
The Taiwanese government has a history of listening to American government and taking advice, even when we're stupid.
伊讲台湾过去的迄个表现就是讲非常信任美国，虽然真侪时阵美国是戆戆，咱嘛是甲相信。
So the bottom line is our politicians want to do an experiment with the world, and the hypothesis is that doing business with criminals will improve the criminals.
做侪政治人物因有一个大的假设假使讲因的讲法就是讲咱来甲即个犯罪人做生意就会当改善犯罪情形。
So how has that tested out before? Because we've already done this test, okay? That's how that worked.
历史上有真侪证明咱看这是真出名尼克森总统伊当时甲邓小平会面。
Do we expect the results to be different this time?
结果呢，就是比做历史天安门的事件，即摆呢，咱来看现在，敢有可能有较好？
You know who this gentleman is? He's the main representative of the Chinese Communist government who believes he's in charge of Taiwan.
迄个人，咱知就是伫中国共产国家内底来负责台湾代志的人。
He recently visited for 4 days. He did not go to Taipei though, because I think he was afraid of who he would meet.
伊去台湾4日，但是伊无去台北，咱拢知影即项代志。
So we've run this experiment even many times in the past. In 1928, Henry Ford opened up a factory in the Soviet Union.
过去，若搁推较早前，1928年咱即个福特汽车公司因捌和苏联签约。
And Ford famously was commented as saying that the automaker was firm in his belief that introducing capitalism was the best way to undermine communism. This was in 1928. And what he actually did was help the Soviet Union ramp up their industry, which helped defend them from their enemies, particularly the Germans.
迄当时因的讲法就是讲要帮忙即个共产国家上好的方法就是介绍即个资本主义互因，结果呢，就是变做讲因苏联得到真大的帮忙，变做后摆伊有迄个气力去和美德国相战
And actually what happened in the Soviet Union at this time was it got much worse. Stalin came in and replaced Lenin, and the government became much more repressive and dangerous than it ever had been, both to the Russian people and the rest of the world.
事实上，伫这项代志以后吼，就是变做讲斯大林吼，斯大林代替列宁吼，变做因共产的头，不但造成苏联真大的灾难，世界上嘛受到真大的灾难。
And Ford also worked extensively with the German regime. He was noted to be, to some extent, unfortunately, an admirer of Mr. Hitler. And Mr. Hitler kept a picture of Henry Ford in his office in Munich. They built a giant plant in Germany to manufacture Ford automobiles. And here's Henry Ford receiving a medal from a Nazi official giving him a German honorific.
1931年吼，福特公司佫进一步去向德国，迄当时希特勒吼，希特勒已经开始伊伫遐设一个这车的厂，希特勒真欢喜讲，福特做这项代志，一直将因做翕的迄张相，就是这张相，放伫伊慕尼黑的办公室内底。
The Ford plant in Cologne was taken over during the war by the Nazis and used as a slave labor camp where Jewish prisoners were forced to build weapons that were used to continue the war against America's allies.
迄个厂设伫科隆吼，尾希特勒准备做甲占起来，福特公司占过来，强迫起来犹太人伫遐做奴隶吼，建设因军用的物件。
General Motors Corporation had a very similar relationship with Germany. This quote says, GM was an integral part of the German war effort. The Nazis could not have invaded Poland and Russia without Switzerland. They could not have done so without GM.
所以另外一间通用汽车公司也是共款做即款的代志吼，和德国有签约定设厂做成以后，因就是因为有即个帮忙吼，比如讲因瑞士迄个厂吼，若是有通用公司伫遐已经设啊，因根本就无法度通有好的军区。
I didn't know this until I researched the other day, but the Opel plant that General Motors built in Germany was used to produce the jet engines and the landing gear for the Messerschmitt 262, the first military jet aircraft.
伊唔知影讲伊迄个飞机较早是伫遐做，伊直到伊最近做研究才知影。
This was a plane that famously killed many American pilots, particularly the Tuskegee Airmen, the African American pilots of World War II.
即个特别的机型，即只飞机的机型，伫二次世界大战中，实在是开始足对美国的军人，特别是乌人，有一支空军队，互因杀死真侪人。
The same thing happened with the United States and Japan in the 1930s. There was an investigation by a congressman named Kilgore, and he became convinced that the agreements that the international cartel, American companies working with Japan, that if they'd been investigated before 1936, the United States would have had a more realistic view of the international situation.
一个政议员吼，伊1944讲，伊佫一个较特别的看法，伊讲吼，美国和日本的关系吼，假使若阵伫1936年以前，就有较好的合同的时阵吼，会帮忙美国对日本有较实际性的国际观。
So this is a section of the report from the congressman. The Japanese used cartel-like agreements such as patent licensing, pooling arrangements, and exchange of technology. Likewise, they purchased technical information, observed American technical achievements, or made detailed inquiries about them. These are the exact same techniques that the Chinese business people use and the Chinese government uses through their business people in our trade today.
迄当时因所做的方法，就是讲，等于去共偷摕人的迄个 要安怎讲，即个技术种种，即种方法发生伫1939年日出大战以前，但是现主是中国嘛是用同款的方法要偷摕美国的资讯，佮科学的技术种种。
So I won't read this whole thing because we're going to save time here, but Boeing Corporation was manufacturing planes. The Japanese wanted to buy bombers in order to bomb Korea and China. And the United States Army forbade the sale of the bombers, but Boeing offered to sell, quote, a similar model to the Japanese, that they would be able to build a bombing plane out of, either independently or in conjunction with Japanese engineers.
迄个波音的飞行机公司同款，日本要甲因买飞机，因为美国政府禁止，所以呢，波音就讲，我毋是卖迄款的互日本我是干那卖类似同款的迄种，结果呢，日本人就用迄个飞行机来害美国人。
And this, of course, was the result of that.
咱有看到这就是迄个原子弹发生以后，翕的相，一个囡仔即种相当出名。
This is the Bloody Saturday attack on Shanghai, a very famous photo taken at the railway station after the Japanese bombing.
是的，我讲毋对，这是伫上海迄个日本人用美国的飞行机伫上海大轰炸了，伫迄个火车头迄阵有人翕即张相。
So you probably heard this before. China wouldn't attack Taiwan because our close business ties means it would cost them money, right? You heard that?
咱有听因安尼讲中国袂来攻击咱台湾，因为咱含有真密的商业关系。伊若来甲咱迄个真正甲咱伤害时，敢毋是等于因着了钱？
I often hear American politicians or China apologists like Henry Kissinger use this explanation that our close economic ties will make our interest aligned and consequently we won't go to war. But I ask you this question, who were Japan's biggest trading partners before World War II? China, Korea, the United States. You don't pick a fight with people you have no relationship with. Japan did not go off to attack Chile. Japan did not go off to attack Botswana. You attack the people that you have trade disputes with, and you can only have them when you have close economic ties. Philippines. Who are Germany's biggest trading partners? I'm sorry.
当有影讲，你若有商业关系时，迄个国家就袂来甲你伤害。你看卖第二次世界大战，迄个日本上大的迄个商业的关系，就是中国、韩国、美国甲菲律宾。事实证明，伊即几国拢有互日本轰炸伤害着。伊若毋去讲无商业关系，像阿根廷啊，还是其他的国家。
So the same question for Germany.
同款，德国也是安尼。
France, Poland, United Kingdom, Russia.
所以因对法国、波兰、英国、苏联同款，拢是有小可讲迄无法纸，死到伊嘛是甲你亲戚。
So never believe that story when you're told that better trade will bring peace. Historically, it simply has never been true. You can go back to the Roman period and you'll find out that's never ever been true. The closer ties you have with the country, the more likely you are to have a war if you are not ideologically aligned.
所以绝对毋通相信讲，若有好的商业关系，迄个国家就袂来甲你伤害。历史上已经有太侪证明，若要对较早罗马时代就有安尼，永远是拢含伊有关系的国家，往就变做伊甲你亲近的对象。
So lesson 2 is the record of free trade agreements.
咱即摆来看迄个自由贸易当伊的记录历史记录
So the question, when you're thinking about judging the Sunflower Movement and their opposition to the agreement, you have to say, how do these agreements fare in general?
当你要谈人签约的时候，你知影讲， 这当地有公平的咯，吼，第一要点。
So President Obama said back in 2010 that the U.S.-Korea Free Trade Agreement would generate 70,000 American jobs from increased good exports alone. So he said we would sell more products to Korea and it would generate jobs in the United States. Very clear, very specifically, 70,000.
2010年的时阵吼，咱的奥巴马总统吼，迄当时伫迄个白宫又安尼讲过，伊讲吼，若真吼美国甲韩国吼有一个贸易的同意的时阵呢，会当吼，咱估计会当增加美国人7万的工作机会，吼，嘛会当敢若讲为迄落出口的商业行为，即项就会当增加7万的工作机会。
So what actually happened?
结果安那呢？
Immediately after passing the Korean Free Trade Agreement, the United States began to rapidly lose exports to Korea. And estimates are we lost about 50,000 jobs in 2 years.
伊2010年讲安尼，2年后，伫2年内底，美国不但无增加7万的工作机会，佫反转损失5万的工作。
This is data from the United States Census Bureau, who's in charge of tracking trade information.
这是迄个吼，伫迄个即个自由贸易的迄个信用以前的一个资料。
And I want to call your attention to the balance number here on the left. These are all negative numbers. In January 2010, we had a $36 billion trade deficit with South Korea.
吼，对这个看，这是正月2010吼，到12月1年，上正平遐咱所我看袂啥清楚，但是遐拢是负数，拢是迄个无谈到点拢了的吼。
And when December of 2010, when the agreement took effect, it was $610 million loss. This is the difference between what we sold to Korea and what they sold to us. Basically, running a money-losing business with Korea.
所以会使讲韩国签迄个是咱一了大钱吼。
Now, in 2014, leaping ahead, the balance is now $1.8 billion per month. And in just 5 months, we've already essentially matched the entire year of losses we had in 2010.
当时间来到2014的时阵吼，即个干5个月累积的损失，就比以前一档的搁较侪啊。
To be clear, I'm a fan of Korea. I think that they have a brilliant government that's done a really good job managing their economy, and they are aggressive negotiators. I even have a son adopted from Korea, so don't get me wrong on this. But the United States policy towards free trade agreements is naive and dangerous.
吼，我毋是讲对韩国人有啥物不满吼，我个人有捡一个韩国囡仔，收养一个韩国囡仔，吼，但是呢，韩国人咧做生意是真强，吼，美国人是伤天真啊。
This is the United States trade deficit since Tiananmen Square with China. And all during this period of time, our politicians have told us that if we keep working with China in a free trade regime, that we're going to generate economic prosperity. Every one of these dollars, which is now more than half of our trade deficit, over $300 billion a year, it's $1 billion a day basically, comes out of American GDP and costs jobs. It costs millions of jobs every year.
咱看这个蓝色的线吼，是对迄个1989年天安门事件以后，你看迄个线一直增到平无欢喜哦，迄是负数吼，咱表的一直增加吼，事实上，这就是拢用着咱老百姓的钱。
And the main reason this is very simple. The United States is a wealthy country that has a sophisticated consumer market, and we have traded that for access to a market that is actually close to us and on average is actually still relatively poor. The results of that simply can't be a boom in business. And Taiwan, I believe, faces the exact same dilemma, except they are disproportionately disadvantaged by their huge relation size of China compared to Taiwan.
事实就是因为这个逆差啦，这是因为这个自由贸易的条约了。你若想讲要对比你较散的国家，你有想讲你会当为遐摕到啥物好处？这实在是无啥物可能的代志。今仔日台湾所面对的就是讲，咱若是类似的情况，但是咱搁较严重的就是单单一个中国，就互咱造成足大的一个逆差。
So my point is that when politicians tell you that just engaging in trade by itself will result in prosperity, it's a lie. Engaging in smart and skillful trade, like any other business, creates prosperity.
咱绝对唔通相信迄个政客甲咱讲那干那因为自由贸易就会当增加咱的迄个社会繁荣啊，种这拢不可信的逐项拢是在靠实在去经营才有法度。
So now President Ma says Taiwan's service exports to mainland China will see an increase of 37% following the signing of the trade agreement and trade services agreement.
这是真出名，我想足侪人拢知影我研究真侪伊讲咱咱有去出口去中国就会当看到37%的迄个真好的伫咱的贸易上的利益。
So what will really happen?
究竟啥物会发生呢？
I don't know, but I would be very skeptical when somebody says 37%. Where did they get that? I have my doubts.
我唔知伊是安怎去想迄个37%，迄实在是无可能的代志
So here's a quote from an honest politician. You can fool all of the people some of the time, and you can fool some of the people all of the time, but you cannot fool all of the people all of the time.
这是迄个林肯总统的真出名一句话伊讲你不定会当欺骗一寡人伫某种的一个某大的时间，也是讲你会当欺骗拢一直欺骗小一部分的人，但是你无可能欺骗所有的人伫永远的时间，所有的时间内底。
Here's the people you can't fool. Is anybody here in that picture? Is anybody here in that? All right, good for you. Anyway, I'm really excited to see young people standing out to be politically involved at any level. I really encourage my students, even if you disagree with me, get out there and say something. We need a new generation of people. I can see that a lot of the folks in this room are almost as old as I am. And we really need to engage young people, and I'm really excited about the Sunflower Movement. And even if I didn't agree with them, I would at least be enthused to see a generation of people getting out there who care about their own future and aren't sitting at home in their underwear playing video games.
这相咱大家拢真清楚真熟遐真明就是讲台湾毋是要防备的一个会出卖的一个国家即个咱的党员伊讲伊真欢喜爱看到讲有少年人为着伊家己的前途来出声毋是干那坐伫迄个厝里的沙发椅里顶端咧移的电子玩具
Of course, not just in LA, there were actually a few protesters in Taiwan in here.
这嘛是台湾嘛安尼毋是干那洛杉矶有咧示威尔
That was a joke.
开始笑。
So, lesson 3, I want to talk about China's what I call neighborly attitude, or the experience that other areas near China have had in interacting with agreements with China. And the first one is Hong Kong. So you might have seen these protests going on over the last few years in Hong Kong.
第三点，咱要来看讲中国人安怎对待伊的厝边啦即马第一个讲就是香港
Sometimes there's been more than 1 million people, and after nearly a generation of being under the thumb of Beijing are honestly not happy. In fact, these guys seem to want the British back.
真明显吼，香港人真无快乐吼。伫1997年吼，中国以后吼，因读过因有当时100万人的游街吼，啊，你看这伊甚至佫将迄个英国旗举出来，因甘愿爱转去互英国管。
I suppose that if China ever got their way with the One China policy, you might see people in Taipei carrying Dutch flags.
我想吼，假使若中国有一个一中的政策的时阵，台湾本定就会摕荷兰的旗，因为咱捌互欧盟的人吼，欧盟啊管荷兰人管过吼。
So, in 1997, the boys from Beijing signed on to an agreement called the Hong Kong Basic Law.
伫1997年吼，就行到香港签一个约。
The National People's Congress authorizes the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region to exercise a high degree of autonomy and enjoy executive, legislative, and independent judicial power, including that of final education, in accordance with the provision of this law.
讲啊真好听吼，伊讲吼，因授权香港吼有一个迄个特别的迄个特管区啦吼，啊因会当有真悬的迄个自发性啦吼，迄个立法啦吼，佫个人的迄个法律的权利等等吼。
Now, recently, Beijing has changed their tune.
但是呢，最近北京已经改变口气啊。
A statement was released by the party that says the high degree of autonomy that the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region is subject to the central leadership's authorization, with no such thing as residual power. So what they're saying is that any autonomy that Hong Kong has is only there because Beijing chooses to let them have it, not because Beijing is held responsible to any agreement that Beijing might have signed in the past.
这是真重要的一个改变哦，吼，伊就是讲吼，恁的自发性吼。伊就是爱伫迄个我北京政府同意的情况之下，恁才有迄個自發性，並毋是講我互恁自本就會當有迄個自發性。
It specifically iterates that the degree of autonomy of the Hong Kong authority comes solely from authorization by the central leadership.
伊只吼強調中央的領導就是北京，伊要甲你統管吼。
But of course, the Chinese government doesn't even follow its own constitution.
甚至伊虽然安尼講，伊嘛袂照伊所講的去做代志吼。古早伊講的啊，正講倒講拢照伊講，家己愛講袂使。
This is a document worth reading.
OK， 伊有一個文件吼，伊感覺講咱應該愛去讀。
Article 35 says, citizens of the People's Republic of China enjoy freedom of speech, of the press, of assembly, of association, procession, and demonstration.
伊一個條件內底寫得足好聽的哦，吼，伊講公民吼，迄個中國共和國人民吼，攏會當享受到自由發言、出版吼，啊佫集會、佫組織吼，攏啊佫甚至示威的自由。
Article 36, citizens of the People's Republic of China enjoy freedom of religious belief.
第36條講你有宗教的信仰自由。
Do I have any Falun Gong practitioners here?
咱遮哪有信仰來？
How's the religious freedom thing like that?
Absolutely not.
Not right. And the same thing for Christians and for the Catholic Church being repressed in China, for Muslims in East Turkestan. The Chinese government thinks they control your religion and they will register you and your church and decide what you will and will not proselytize, which is hardly in accordance with that.
咱知影迄个骗人的啦吼，伊不但对上信仰迄个回教的同款，啊对迄个天主教、对基督教拢同款，拢是受因控制禁止。
Article 37, the freedom of persons and the citizens of the People's Republic of China is inviolable. That has not been the experience of many of my friends, unfortunately, in America.
第37條佢講，伊即幾條是攏袂當受到 改变的吼，啊，事实拢无影吼，因朋友证明拢有可能。
Kai, do you have any comment on that? Kai, you got any comment on that?
Yeah. Oh, this one is applying for political asylum.
Congratulations. Article 40, the freedom and privacy of correspondence of citizens of the People's Republic of China are protected by law. I guess that means they can't read your email. Right? They read my email.
40条搁较好笑吼，伊讲吼，人民的迄个私人的隐私啦吼，还是迄个要向人要向人联络啥，拢是伫法律的保障内底吼。
A few years ago, I was supposed to meet some folks at the Shenzhen airport, and I was flying from Shanghai to Shenzhen.
伊去深圳吼，伫迄个飞机场。
And I was going to meet some human rights activist and a political dissident who had been in prison after Tiananmen at the airport.
伊迄当时是要含迄个天安门事件以后了出来的人吼，啊个人权的迄个积极分子吼回应。
And I communicated via email with these folks to arrange the meeting, and they were all detained by the police at the airport and taken away so that they could not meet me.
我是用迄个 email 吼，电子邮件甲因联络，啊结果遮个人拢去互因中国政府甲因抓去，连禁止和伊会面就对啦吼。
I copied this directly from the People's Daily website in English.
伊讲伊这是拢真正为因迄个报出来的公迄个物件，是家己做的，吼，这拢是事实。
Very few people are good at looking you straight in the eye and lying to you, and nobody does it better than the Chinese Communist Party.
咱人若要讲白菜，拢真少会当甲对方看目睭，拢会见笑，毋敢吼，敢若中国人有法度，中国共产党有法度。
So if they don't value their own constitution, their most sacred contract with their own people, why on earth would you expect them to value an agreement with foreign barbarians or with their ideological historical enemies?
假使咱为遮谈讲，假使伊若对家己的法律、对家己的文件就遮尔无尊重，你哪会想讲伊对和伊无关系的外国人，还是讲台湾会去尊重？
Article 41, citizens, People's Republic of China have the right to criticize and make suggestions to any state or their functioning. I guess that might be true. It doesn't say what happens after you do that.
41条吼，更较好笑，伊就讲吼，我欢迎建议啦吼，啊伊讲不定对啦吼，伊无甲你写讲欢迎你的建议以后会发生啥物代志吼。
So I wanted to address another issue, some of the other neighbors of China, Tibet, Mongolia, Turkestan, Manchuria, who have at various times had complex and different relationships with the Chinese Empire and then more recently the Communist Party. But in the Qin Dynasty in 200 BC, this was the size of China during that period of time.
所谓的汉满蒙藏吼，伊的迄个历史。 啊，这是伫清朝的时阵，迄当时清朝就是迄个黄的吼，伊的领土。
So the Qing Dynasty progressed, the Han Dynasty extended quite a bit, but I want to point out that the Tibet still isn't in there. Most of Mongolia isn't in there. They're heading towards the area that's Turkestan or Jiangxin province.
虽然满洲伫清朝上强的时阵吼，伊领土足大地，但是并无包括西藏，啊个蒙古，啊个迄个Turkestan 吼。
And even during the Tang Dynasty, probably China's greatest period of historical power, Tibet is still a separate nation, as is Mongolia and Manchuria.
东朝嘛是一个足强的朝代吼，迄当时汉人藏嘛拢无属伫遐啦吼。
Ming Dynasty actually reshrunk back a little bit here.
这是明朝。
This map, unfortunately, isn't very readable. It's a German map from the 19th century, and it shows China at that time, which was essentially about the same as the Ming Dynasty. The Qing Dynasty made a lot of claims, but their ability to enforce themselves in areas like Tibet was not recognized by anybody else in the world.
这是伫维基公遐的地图，但是咱看袂出来吼，就是讲证明讲确实中国迄当时嘛无包括汉南蒙藏。
The way that they made their claim to Tibet, for instance, was by looking at the boundaries of the Mongol Empire in the Yuan Dynasty from the 10th and 11th century.
伫个11世纪的时阵吼，迄阵蒙古伫关掉，迄阵的时阵，迄个北迄部分是着蒙古。
So the claim is based on the fact that the Mongols took over China, but when they took over China, they also took over Tibet. This claim would also allow China to theoretically claim essentially all of Russia, parts of Poland, and a great deal of the Middle East.
咱知成吉思汗吼足强，伊占足侪领土，所以中国就讲元朝嘛是阮中国的一条，所以你嘛是属于阮的。较早元朝接过的所在拢算阮的。
So when the Communist Party invaded Tibet in the 1950s, this was really the legitimization they used, but of course they limit their claims to areas where they can actually militarily enforce them.
伊当然是讲伊要爱称讲迄是伊的领土，因为伊有军力会当去统治。
So I can't go to Tibet. I took this photo in Yunnan province and Dali, and you know you've got to have a Tibet travel permit.
伊讲我袂当去西藏，因为我无通行证。
I can't go to Tibet, but I can go there and try to talk about it.
迄是白中头前啊吼，伊讲我袂当去西藏，但是我会当伫遮讲西藏代志。
President Obama wasn't letting us end that day, but we tried to have that discussion. And it's important to realize what's been going on in Tibet has not been a pretty thing. I can show you pictures, I don't even want to show them. Over 200 people have set themselves on fire. Thousands of people have been summarily executed and mistreated in the most horrible ways.
咱知西藏吼，伫中国统治下吼，死足侪人吼，咱有看过足侪图片，真残忍吼。
You may know that China is making bold and aggressive territorial claims in the South China Sea. Again, the projector doesn't show this map well, but essentially they're claiming the entire South China Sea, even though most of it is hundreds, if not thousands, of kilometers from the Chinese coast.
即摆中国真认真真强咧侵入迄个南海即个所在吼。
They claim the entire coast of Vietnam, most of Malaysia, all of Brunei, and a great deal of the Philippines coast.
就是咱所谓的东南亚吼、越南啊吼、马来西亚吼，即几国，即摆中国真拍拼要去干预。
You may be familiar with the disputed islands in between Taiwan and Japan.
这就是讲岛屿啊，山卡古是不是迄个钓鱼岛吼？诶。
So what's interesting, I'm sorry you can't see, Japan has apparently been historically erased, but this territory here is the farthest south recognized Japanese territory, and here's Taiwan, and this is the Chinese mainland. Now both Taiwan and the Japanese territory are about 170 kilometers from these islands.
咱若用地理的位置来看的时阵吼，台湾也是日本含钓鱼岛的距离吼，拄是170海里啦吼。
The Chinese mainland is 330 kilometers from these islands, and yet they're making a claim on them. They have no claim on them unless they claim they own Taiwan.
中国含钓鱼岛330里吼，伊是无啥物理由通讲迄是我的国土。 除了伊讲台湾是我的一部分，因为台湾含钓鱼岛170里，安尼伊就会当讲钓鱼岛嘛属阮的。
this is a dispute between Japan and Taiwan, two democracies that I believe could be resolved. But when you introduce an authoritarian government, you can create a war.
他阵若敢若日本甲台湾中间可能因有法度处到一个协议，但是若搁插一个中国人入来，还是无办法。
So these islands originally were part of the Ryukyu Empire.
这一件特殊吼，
When World War II ended, the United States essentially arbitrarily handed Taiwan, which had been last in control of the Japanese, to China, and handed the rest of these small islands, including Okinawa, to Japan.
咱知影除了台湾交互中国去以外，其他的岛拢是日本有咧管理吼，包括琉球、冲绳呀吼。
Frankly, China got a much better deal. Taiwan is far more valuable than Okinawa and the rest of these islands.
台湾事实上是比Okinawa吼、冲绳人伊遐境遇较好。
And the Chinese government didn't dispute this until they lost Taiwan.
但是伊就爱放弃台湾。
So, lesson 3, how does China do business? You should think about that before you do business with them.
伫咱要研究讲中国人安怎做生意的以前，咱爱知影，咱爱知影讲，要安怎当中国当作是一个事业来处理的时阵，咱爱先了解讲因安怎去做事业。
So, many Americans have been to Shanghai and they've stood on the moon and seen the big bull. The Chinese had to make a bull that was bigger than the one on Wall Street. Their stock market isn't holding up that reputation now.
伫上海吼，因遐嘛有一只牛吼，迄是代表股市的牛吼，伊当年来做比华尔街伊只较大。
And of course, you have the garish and I think atrocious architecture of Pudong across the river lighting up the bull.
遐即马足繁华吼，拢有船啊，有大楼等等啥。
But a lot of China still looks like this. I took this picture on a rural farm a few years ago. This is an 80-year-old gentleman with one leg, and I watched him push a plow behind an ox like this. So the people driving Ferraris in Shanghai are not the only people in China.
所以毋通看讲伫上海吼，遐尼繁华吼，有人驶 Ferrari 的车吼，事实上真正中国人咧做代志吼，是像即个阿公啊，80几岁一支骹，伊就安尼运了去桥头。
This is a school in a village called Yangbei. This is an elementary school cafeteria. I took this picture myself.
这是一间小学的灶骹，学校的灶骹，食堂的灶骹。
So think about this, and then think about that, and think where the priorities of the Chinese Communist Party are. Where are they?
你若看即款，实在是一搁足落后、足散的国家，就究竟中国的上重要代志，因的是啥？
The Chinese environment, you should be familiar with how the Chinese government views the environment when they come to do business in their country. These are some pictures I took on a cruise along the Yangtze River. There's a very popular cruise from Chongqing down to the Three Gorges Dam.
这是伫迄个扬子江吼，为中庆坐船落来。你若看这上，你就了解讲中国人对环境因的所处的态度是啥物款。
The first thing I want to point out is that on 4 days on the river, I never saw a live fish or a duck or a turtle or a frog in this river.
4日伫船顶无看到任何一种生物啦，鱼仔也好啦吼，鸭也好，还是乌龟，拢无生物的现状。
What I did see a lot of were coal barges. These are large barges that carry coal to the industrial cities of Chongqing, Chengdu.
所看到伫中境甲成都中间足侪即种载煤炭的船、货船。
And trucks come from the coal mines that place the coal in these large bins, and the coal is then sluiced down these shafts to load onto the barges.
伊用的方法嘛足简单的吼，为迄个煤矿岛迄个所在啊，甲车落来，啊，才用即种嘛毋是正式的船，啊，就甲拖过迄个煤矿。
Sometimes they just break open and all the coal falls in the river.
有当时含安尼嘛，歹创，干脆伫个迄个空地所在甲开一个门啊，互迄个煤矿船安尼家己流落来。
This is a close-up of Chinese environmental remediation. This is the work of fixing the coal bed.
这是因所用真原始的方法啦吼。
It is a long way from Shanghai.
上海比较差千万里。
This is a lady fishing just down the river from that spot. Now, I didn't see any fish actually come, but notice the vegetation near the river.
一个查某人伫船头咧掠鱼仔，虽然伊夜梦，但是伊嘛无看到伊掠着半只鱼仔。啊，你看边仔迄个荷花，落加去。
The projector doesn't do a good job on the color, but the color of the water was almost the same color as the photo. Very strange, like glow in the dark green.
迄河水拢是暗青色，都垃圾。
Here's a sign that I took a picture of. You can read that for me.
It says, "Firmly attack those drawn the baby girl. It is illegal behavior."
So China's war on women, trying to control the reproductive rights of 1/5 of people on Earth, has resulted in the essential murder of tens of millions of young Chinese women who are either selectively aborted, killed at birth, abandoned, in this case drowned, because they view themselves as having direct control over every possible facet of the human life.
这是其中一个例啊吼，因控制人口吼啊，甚至做遮尔无人道的，真千千万万的查某人、查某囡仔嘛、查某婴死去吼。啊，因为因共产党认为讲我有所有的权利来控制你每一个人的每一项代志。
I'd like to switch over and show a quick video of my congressional has been a huge victim of, as well as the United States, which is China's blatant attempts to steal industrial and contractual information from private companies. And it is run by a unit of the Chinese government. I want to be clear, a lot of people are falling for the story that the Chinese government puts out that, oh, every government is out there doing cyber espionage. And they'd be right. The United States government is spying on a lot of foreign governments using cyber espionage, and I would expect them to. What the United States government is not doing is using the United States military to steal Chinese intellectual property and hand it over to their American competitors. It is not industrial espionage. This is another issue. We expect the Russians to spy on us. We expect the Israelis to spy on their neighbors. We expect the neighbors to spy on them when it comes to military secrets. Governments have always done that. The Chinese government is running an organized campaign to destabilize the economies of Western countries, including Taiwan. Go ahead and start that if you want.
伊即摆就是要讲吼，迄个中国吼，用军方去偷摕人别国的机密，吼，最高的技术啊，吼，也是还讲的真正的资料吼。伊讲中国讲大国嘛拢在做遮代志无毋对，但是无人一个国家就是用军方的方法去共偷摕，啊，然后去摕互伊的企业界去甲别国竞争。
Administration describing our policy. Unfortunately, though, the Taiwanese policy doesn't look much different, and the Taiwanese government is unfortunately been greatly corrupted the same way the American government has by all this money that flows in through this process and it affects the politics. Sorry, technology is always a surprise at every event, yeah. This photo in the Walmart in Kunming, and I love the slogan here. Every Walmart has a poster that shows the managers in the store, but the Chinese mainland view of manager is leadership of the servants of the people. The people's most glorious role that they might achieve would be to be a servant and be told what to do. And if you go to a mainland Chinese Walmart, every morning you'll see the staff lined up out front while the manager comes out and yells at them like he's a drill sergeant.
这是伫中国的文化者啦吼，因虽然打足侪伤吼，啊，其实你若去因遐透早，就是迄个主管吼，都喊啊大细声。
And of course, there's Foxconn City in Shenzhen, and Hanhai Precision, a great Taiwanese company, is over there in cahoots with a great American company, Apple, creating thousands of jobs that aren't in Taiwan and aren't in the United States.
这是一间公司咯，
There's
深圳的。
been a lot of focus on the labor conditions that factory. I want to say I toured that factory, and you know what? It has the best labor conditions in China. The problem is the rest of the labor conditions in China are such a disaster that that's not too impressive. And China loves all the focus being on this factory because every time an American TV crew goes through there and shows the swimming pools and the workout room and in the game room and everything, you know, it looks pretty good. There's nobody in any of those things because they have no time for that, but they do have those facilities.
伊这是样板的啦，互看，我其实别位拢无赞赞。
What it's about is the fact that American corporations, Taiwanese corporations are making a lot of money exploiting the environment and the labor conditions in China, and they're feeding that into a political system that lies to you.
中国、台湾、美国，咱拢用足侪咱的钱去饲这个中国，啊，伊即马变做强起来，伊咧甲你地，对你讲袂使。
So you might have heard this statement, if we don't rush the cross strait street in China, we'll make a deal with Korea. That's the latest reason you have to do it now and stop the sunflower.
咱若无经过台湾海峡去和中国做生意吼，中国就会去甲韩国做生意吼，这就是我相信嘛，伊咧讲的吼。
You know what I say? I say, good.
讲做你去。
Taiwan's problem with jobs, Taiwan's economic malaise, just like Japan's, is not due to their lack of running to engage China. That's what they've been doing while things get worse. The reason that they don't have enough jobs and high quality work, and the reason that the economy isn't working for everybody in the country, same with the United States, is because we are doing so much business with China. The solution is not more heroin.
其实吼，不管是台湾也好吼，日本也好吼，因经济无好，甲美国共款，毋是讲咱无甲中国做生意才安尼，就是因为咱甲因做上济。
There's a very famous quote from George Santayana: "Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it."
这个就前吼，这个出名人伊讲吼，若无法度为过去汲取教训的人，伊就会阁继续做同款的唔对。
So what should Taiwan do? In closing, I want to just give my personal opinion on where I think the sunflower movement should push.
结束以前，我要爱从我个人的看法来讲，台湾该安怎做较好。
You need to protect Taiwan's new democracy. It's fragile, and exposing it to a large authoritarian government and bringing more and more people who possess that corruption in their soul is not a good idea.
所以咱该保护咱台湾的新的民主，将即专制的政权来爆发伊的显出伊的唔对。
You need to protect Taiwan's standard of living. The United States has about 100 million workers, and China has 800 million or so. And to balance out our standard of living between the mainland and the United States is already causing a huge drop in the standard of living for most Americans. For Taiwan to do that with only a few tens of millions of people versus 800 million would simply be an economic disaster for the average Taiwanese.
咱在保护咱台湾的生活水准吼，你知影美国因为和中国伤侪经济关系个贸易关系，伫美国遮的生活水准已经降落去，台湾也会可能变安尼。
Taiwan also needs to stand up and demand of the U.S. government live up to its commitments and ideals and decide who its friends are really. Stop being polite and coy about that. The United States made agreements and commitments to Taiwan. They should be honored. Taiwan has every right to demand that.
台湾人爱徛起来，甲美国追求讲你台湾所约束的代志，吼，咱唔免搁遐客气，遐有礼貌。
The island dispute with Japan should be settled, and I believe that Taiwan should strengthen its ties with Japan as opposed to China.
对钓鱼岛的代志，咱应该爱去处理，然后尊重和日本的交联。
And Taiwan should work to demonstrate the value of democracy and encourage its expansion throughout East Asia, specifically Vietnam.
咱爱将咱台湾的民主的天道好的物件传予东南亚其他的国家，特别是越南。
That's all I had to say. I appreciate your patience. I know things went a little slower tonight than we would have liked. I didn't know that we were doing translation, but I'm so glad we had that opportunity.